Hello and welcome to Dr. Yakman's Nintendo Power Checklist. This is for the year 2009. As I stated near the end of the last video in 2008, they started switching over to a new format and where the bottom left-hand corner of the volume would have the number in bold, the month and year, and then whether it was a subscriber edition or a newsstand edition. And this point going forward, they had subscriber and newsstand editions of all the volumes. They just did. And some of them, most of them, well, I shouldn't say most. I would say about half and half. A lot of them had the same cover. It was just a clean cover for the subscribers. And what I mean by clean is you see how there's no text around here. So this is the clean subscriber volume, 237, January 2009. And then when we go into the newsstand edition, you'll see that there's text all over the place, and then there's a headline up top, and yada yada yada. It doesn't have the clean cover opening. So, so this is that was the subscriber one. This one's the newsstand one. Here's a bad thing that they started doing, though, for collectors and for subscribers back then. The newsstand editions would come sometimes bagged with a special bag, and they would have extra goodies in them. Whereas the subscribers, the loyal subscribers, would not get those extra goodies, which I think was pretty shitty. But what can you do? This was the foil bag that was for this volume, the first volume, but only the subscriber one, or only the newsstand edition one. And it points out some things that are in there. This was the stickers. Now this came in both the subscriber one and in the newsstand edition, but the newsstand edition was bagged. Sometimes they would do that. Sometimes the poster or the stickers or the extra goodies would come only in the newsstand edition, which is kind of the opposite of how Nintendo Power was run in the beginning. It was the subscribers got the extra bonuses, not the newsstand people, but whatever. These were Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Almia. This was a game on DS, I believe. It was a bunch of stickers. Now the front of this calls it special mission stickers, but whatever. We're on to February now, 238, February 2009. It says it's the RPG special, but on the front cover is Phantasy Star Zero. At least I don't think it's mixed in with other RPGs. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. I will probably have to make a note of that on the on my blog post, the text checklist for this. But yeah, this Phantasy Star Zero, that was the subscriber one, and this is the newsstand one. You'll see as I zip through these, there's not a lot of extras in this year, and going forward they didn't really have a lot of extras, and when the extras were there, they were usually for the newsstand people, which again I find shitty. Now you're on 239, which is March 2009, and it's Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. I don't know if this is a derivative name or a maybe that's not the right word, alternative name, or a remake or a reimagining, but the original title I think was an old LucasArts point-and-click game, and I think it was called The Staff of Moses, but now it's called The Staff of Kings. And there you go. You got a completely different cover. As you can see, back in January, the cover was pretty much the same. It was just cleaner for the subscriber. And cover was different for February, and the cover is different for March. But it's the same game, of course. 2009. That was volume 239. Now we're on to 240, which is April 2009. This is the subscriber edition of it. And it's not too much different than the newsstand edition. It's Pokemon Platinum version. Silent Hill Shattered Memories, which is volume 241 of May 2009. This is the subscriber cover. And this is the newsstand cover. Subscriber cover for volume 242, June 2009. See how quick this is going? We're already at June. No extras. This is the subscriber edition. It has Red Steel 2 on the cover. And then this is a flashier but not clean cover for the Red Steel 2 for the newsstand edition. And then this is I can't remember if this is gold foil or not. I will make a note of that on my blogger because I just didn't notice it until now. But this is Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days. I don't know what that means. I'm not a Kingdom Hearts guy, but this is volume 243, July 2009. This is the subscriber edition cover, and this is the newsstand edition cover. This is kind of, I don't know what Nintendo or Nintendo Power or Nintendo of America's hard-on was for Kingdom Hearts, but it says finally. Finally table scraps from Square. I don't think too highly of this kind of stuff. Granted, people, it's Kingdom Hearts, but it's not the mainline series. It's not even a side quest or a side thing from the mainline series. It's kind of like, oh, here's your table scraps here. Now, this volume, again, was one of those ones that came bagged. Sometimes they would come bagged in the newsstand, and it was probably because they had so many daggone inserts for future publishing for Nintendo Power Magazine. Hey, subscribe. I mean, why not? If you won't get the extras. I'm sorry. I don't think too highly of future publishing and how they handled Nintendo Power Magazine at this point. But here was a foil bag, and I'm holding it down because it's folded in there as I store it. But then here it is with the magazine in it, and as you can see, the keyholes are showing faces of the Kingdom Hearts characters here. And it also shows a 3D Giratina origin form model inside. And I have it here. It is folded in half. It's pretty big. It's a almost like comic backing board thickness, maybe a little bit thicker than that, cardboard paper. And you punch these out, which I did not, to make a origin form Giratina paper craft. And then here's the back end of it with instructions that are kind of glued on there. But like I said, this is folded over. I closed it and put it back in the magazine to store it. Maybe someday I'll build it, or I'm sure you can find a how it looks online for people who have built that. But yeah, that was the bonus that came in that volume, but only for newsstand people, not for subscribers. Now here's another one where the cover is completely different. You saw on this one, the covers were pretty much the same. It was just this one was more clean. And of course you had the silly, finally, Kingdom Hearts, whatever. Anyways, but this is Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story. volume 244 for August 2009. This is the subscriber edition cover, and this is the newsstand edition cover. Next volume is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, The Crystal Bearers, which I don't know if this was a remake or redo of the GameCube Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle games, but here we go again with the Square Too Much Love. Here it says, at last. Well, you know, I mean, this is something that when the Wii's success had hit, this is something that should have come right away. But here it is a couple years into the Wii, and after Nintendo had let Square come back to Game Boy and then DS to profit on those portable games. Yeah, it was, again, I don't think too highly of Square at this point in history, but yet everybody's jockeying on their balls. But yeah, this was 245 September 2009. This is the subscriber edition, and this is the newsstand edition of the cover. Avatar, this was, for whatever reason, it was such a big game, or a big movie. I think around the same time, maybe 300 to come out, or maybe it was before or after. I can't remember, but I like 300 better. But anyways, different kind of movies. I don't even know why I'm bringing that up. But Avatar, cool movie, but it's basically Space Pocahontas. And they, you know, let's make a game based off of it, right? Of course. This is volume 246, October 2009, the subscriber edition cover, and the newsstand edition cover. Inside the newsstand one, not the subscriber, but inside of this one, there was a little card book, a little mini book, that was an advertisement for Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, which was kind of a popular animated series, I think. I can't remember exactly how that was. I know that the the Star Wars prequels were still a thing, and excuse me, clearing my throat. And then there was Cartoon Network had the animated series of the Clone Wars, and then there was the CGI animated series of the Clone Wars. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. This little book, mini book, was kind of glued in there with a little, you know, this white spot right here. That's like whiteboard, and it says join. And then when you open it up, it's just scenes from the game or whatever, just little pictures. But it tells you to go to a website when you read the instructions on the back and hold this up to your webcam. I've got more notes on that. It doesn't work anymore, of course, because the website's dead. But I've got some notes on this on my Blogger post for the text checklist. So if you want to check out some information on that. And now we're at November 2009, volume 247, which is, let me see if I can say this right. See how it says Reviews Blowout, and it says that on the binding, but it doesn't say what the name of the game is, which is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. When you had to look that stuff up, because there was other Olympic Games with Mario and Sonic together. I mean, this was, I don't know, that it was like throwing, hate to say, but it was kind of like throwing Sega a bone there. Sega was still, in my opinion, is not doing too well with Sonic. The Sonic movies I've heard are popular, but the games just whatever. But these are the ones that are making money for them, the ones with Mario in it, and they're not even that great of games. I mean, well, I've never played them, so I can't say that they're not great games. But I can tell you that, I mean, the theme is that, oh, this is another Mario sports game. But here it is with Sonic characters and Mario characters. That's the cover of the subscriber one. And then this is the cover, which only has Mario, which is kind of goofy. The cover of the newsstand one. And biggest reviews section ever. And it came in a bag. This wasn't a big deal foil bag, but it did have a sticker on the bag that said free Avatar poster inside. See back. It was so big that it wasn't inside the magazine. It was just like packed in the back behind it in this bag. And yeah, as you can see, there the borders here. That's my chairs. This is my entire. This is pretty much like 4/5 of my very large kitchen table. So it is a full movie size poster. It's just folded, so it looks kind of ugly. I don't know how you could make it look good after you unfold it, but you know, Ubisoft, you tried. So that's the front of it, and here's the back of it. Avatar, the game, James Cameron's. Oh boy. So that was the bonus that came with the newsstand edition, but not the subscriber edition. Around this time, like I said, the bones being thrown at companies back and forth to Nintendo and from Nintendo. The Wii was riding high, but at the same time, you could tell that it was hitting its plateau and it was about to drop off. And it did shortly drop off after this huge spike. And this is something that has never happened since. Let's just say what this volume is here before I tell a story. December 2009, volume 248, Nintendo Power Magazine. This is the subscriber cover, and this is the newsstand cover. And as you can see, it says it's Super Mario Bros. Wii. Now, we could talk about Maelstrom's blog and about, you know, yeah, if I remember right, it was around the same time that I shouldn't say that I got banned. I got banned much later into the 3DS era. But anyways, from NeoGAF, which is the biggest gaming forum online, there was a guy there, and he later on made a blog, and I read it all the time. I don't agree with some of the things that he says, but most of the time he's pretty spot on. He made up this idea of the casual fallacy that the only reason that the Wii was doing well was because it had casuals, and then they moved on to mobile and stuff like that. While there is some truth to that perspective, they're missing a whole bunch of points, which he makes, which I've made in previous videos, which I may make in future videos, and when I when I talk about it, when I do more blog posts and stuff. Anyways, what I'm getting at is that the Wii's success was not just because of Waggle, was not just because of old people playing it, was not just because of this, that, and the other. It's amazing that it was so successful with how much crap was thrown on it. But the Super Mario Bros. Wii that year was the first mainline 2D Mario game, besides the one that was on DS, that was on console. And it propelled the Wii right back to huge heights. And if I am remembering this correctly, but I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. It was the best-selling console ever in a month's period. I think it sold in just America. I want to say that they sold 2 million consoles, and that was not a launch. This was many years after launch. This was when the Wii was waning in most people's eyes, and here it is, given some revival. It's kind of like what Pokemon did to Game Boy, but that's all beside the point. Good games get good sales equals, you know, they're system sellers. They're, you know, I've gone on and on enough about this, but the Super Mario Brothers Wii was a phenom. It was a different kind of phenom than Wii Sports. It was a different kind of phenom than the Wii itself. It was, you know, and then together with the Wii, I mean, it was, but shortly after that, Nintendo did squander some things. And again, the third parties, they squandered that whole generation, in my opinion. That's why they're in such, that's part of the reason why a lot of them are in such poor state these days. And then this was the holiday volume. Yeah, speaking of gold foil, yeah, this one did have gold foil for Nintendo Power, and then the gold foil for the whole background of the other edition. So this is the subscriber edition of the holiday 2009. And it's funny, it's a subscriber edition. It's the holiday one, no bonuses at all. That's all there is just these two goofy covers. And on the cover is the Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, the DS Zelda game. Well, there was two DS Zelda games. I think this was the first or the second one. I can't remember. Regardless, gold foil background on the newsstand edition, but gold foil Nintendo Power font on the subscriber edition. And that was volume 249, holiday of, you know, it's like a bonus issue. It's like a bonus volume, but nothing, no goodies in it. No posters, no stickers, no nothing. They just really cheaped out, and I think Future just ran it into the ground. And I hate to say that because Nintendo Power Magazine is so awesome, and the history, and even with all of the faults of Future Publishing and what they were doing, it was still a good magazine. And I did find a lot of joy in collecting all of the alternate covers and stuff, but you could tell it's really cheap. And around this time too, which I will make note of in a future video when I talk about these supplemental volumes or supplemental magazines, they had the Nintendo Power special magazines that were not a part of the monthly thing, not the holiday ones, not a part of a subscription. And they were on the newsstand only. As far as I know, you could not even get them when you subscribed, which was crappy in itself. There was some cool ones, don't get me wrong, but it was just really, like I said, we'll get into that in a future video. Those were supplemental ones. They had ones that were just nothing but posters, one or two of them that were devoted to Mario, one that was devoted to Zelda. They talked about making a second one, but as far as I know, they never did. I have all of those, and I'm going to be doing a video in the future covering all those once I'm done with the mainline series up to 285. Now we're almost at 250. Volume 250 will be the first volume in the next video for the year 2010. Now here's the binding. The binding is white for subscribers and black for the newsstand. So it's kind of blurry. Sorry, my camera's not so great. But thanks for watching. This is the year 2009 of Nintendo Power Magazine. And next video will be 2010. And 2 more videos after that to finish up all of Nintendo Power Magazine. Covering all of the alternate covers, covering all of the inserts, all of the goodies, all the things that you want to put on your checklist as a collector. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.